All right, before starting your background for your silhouettes, it is important to think about what kind of silhouette are you having and what should your background look like. So it all depends on if you want to go have your paper go up and down like the long way, or if you would like your paper to go sideways. You first have to think about your silhouette, because if I chose this silhouette and I already had my background all done, well, this doesn't make sense to put it like this. It would make more sense to put it like this. Okay. Then you also have to think about what your animal is and where it should be, you know, if it's underwater, and what kind of like background do you need, or do you need land? So pick out your silhouette first, because if we did like a sunset background, but then we wanted a shark, the sunset doesn't make sense. So we would need something that's like underwater for the shark. And then like with animals that need land, you have to think about where do you want them, or do you want it this way? And where do I want the land? Do I want it at the bottom, or do I want like a hill? You have to kind of think about that. Or maybe yours doesn't have land at all and it's flying in the air. Well, what do I want my background to look like with my silhouette? And then sometimes it's smarter to draw your silhouette first before doing the background. So something that's really big like this, I would definitely draw it first. So use your pencil, draw it, because it takes up a lot of area. And then we only focus on just the outsides, and you don't have to focus on so much what's in the wolf. Or maybe you wanted to do what's inside the wolf something different than what's outside. So think about your silhouette first and what you would like to kind of do with it. Then I'm going to teach you just kind of the basics of doing your background for this. All right, so we definitely need oil pastels. And try and choose colors that look nice together. So think about a sunset, think about the sky, or maybe you're just choosing your own background, but you can kind of decide if you want it to look realistic or not. If you want it to look realistic, make sure you're using like colors that you've seen before in the sky, or if it's something a little bit different, just make sure the colors all look good together. So if you ever need to test out the color and see what it is, I just colored on the little piece of tape. And then depending on how you have your paper, usually we color from like side to side. Maybe yours is a little different and you want to try something else, but usually we do from side to side. So you'll just start with one color, and I'm going to do a strip to begin with on the bottom of one color. So when you're coloring, you kind of press at a medium pressure, and it's okay to see some of the white paper through. If you're going like this, it's not going to blend well together, and that's not what we're going for. So something that's covered, it's okay to see a little bit of paper, but this is not okay. So I'm going to fill this in. And make sure you get all the way down by the tape on the bottom. We kind of usually forget about that. And it's okay if you color on your tape. Then you can also kind of have a cloud effect, or have your sky look like it's blending a couple different colors. So I can go with a color, and when I'm coloring the next color, I want to butt it up right next to it. So I'm coloring right next to it. Or overlapping is even better. I could stop and do kind of like a cool like swirl. I could always come up here and do the same thing. And then I could go with another color. And remember to like overlap. Make sure you are covering up the whole paper. As long as all the white paper is covered, you should be good. And the colors kind of mix well together. So some colors, they'll make a weird kind of color if they're next to each other. Some won't. Remember, if you ever don't know, check it out on the side. And you'll just continue the coloring, making sure you're not, having so much white paper showing. You just have to be kind of quick scribbles. All right, I'm going to quickly finish this up so I can talk to you about blending them. So I'm just going to kind of fill in the sky, hope for the best. Remember to overlap or make sure you're coloring right next to it. And let's try a purple. So your background can be kind of whatever you think is going to fit your silhouette the best. We got a couple white spots. Okay, then you just need a water and paintbrush. I always like the red. I think the red that works the best. And you want to start with your lightest colors. So like my yellow and peach colors, they're light. And then I got my blues and purples that they're dark. So I'm going to dip my water in, or paintbrush in the water. Then I'm going side to side, starting with my yellow. Then I'm going to go to my peach. And you'll notice that all that little white paper is now going to get blended and it's going to get covered with color. Then I'm going to get a little bit more water, go to this peach. You don't need so much water. If you have puddles of water on your paper, that's way too much, and you'll have to let it dry. If your paintbrush is ever like really hard to move around, then get some more water, but you don't need puddles of water. So I'm just going to move around a lot of my water here. Some colors you'll notice will blend better with other ones. It's okay if they don't blend super well together. And I'm going side to side. Make sure you get the sides of your paper. A lot of times we forget about that. And you have to get your whole paper blended, because it'll look weird if you forget a spot. All right, whenever you get done, if your paper is super wet, you're gonna probably have to leave it to dry before you draw on your silhouette and paint your silhouette. So that's why also using not a lot of water is good, because it'll dry faster and you can just keep on working. All right, so that looks all nicely blended. I got a nice background. Okay, then leave it to dry if you need to, and then you will do your silhouette on top and you'll draw that.